A surplus of women is being created in many Western countries as a direct result of the conflict in Ukraine, making Western women the second largest group of people to suffer as a direct result of the conflict after the people living in Ukraine themselves. Since then, somebody forwarded me a Polish article titled, "Polish Men are looking for Ukrainian wives because Polish women are vain and quite lazy." I found the article interesting to read, so I'm going to paraphrase some of its key points here. I quote, "Almost 3 million people have crossed the Polish. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the majority of those crossing the border with Ukraine are women and children. Some Polish men, particularly those who have had a string of unsuccessful relationships with Polish women or those who have been unable to find a long-term partner for many years, view this as their best opportunity for a happy marriage. She must meet the conditions of having a body weight of less than 70 kilos and age range between 16 and 25 or up to 37 to 42. They learn about Ukrainian women on the internet, where they read that Ukrainian women are loyal and lovely, in contrast to the stereotype of Polish women as being slothful and spoiled. To connect such guys with women from Ukraine, they learn about Ukrainian women online. A community on Facebook has been established under the name "A Polish Man is looking for a Ukrainian wife and a Ukrainian is looking for a Polish husband," and the group currently has over 4,000 members. The majority of the time, it is the gentlemen who put their images on the site along with a brief description that typically reads something along the lines of, "I have my own company, an apartment in Warsaw, and I'll meet with the Ukrainian woman till she is in her 40s. My job pays well and I have a flat. Therefore, I'm seeking a Ukrainian woman to move in with as soon as possible. I'm a single man with a place to live." In spite of the fact that there aren't many women in the group, the ones that are there are well-groomed individuals who argue with males who are advertisers. Either there are no Ukrainian women at all, or they are mute and cannot communicate in any way. The gentlemen mostly talk among themselves. When they do so, they typically cast doubt on the apparent earnings of a rival business, and they also insult the women who participate in the discussion. For instance, Joanna, who is impersonating a Polish man to receive compliments from Polish men, was given negative feedback from those men after she insulted them for seeking out Ukrainian women and said thank you for the compliments. "I'm more interested in dating ladies that have more than 2 brain cells to rub together in their skulls." Ironious, one of the guys serving on the board believes that the girls from Ukraine are not spoiled sufficiently by the affluence of Western Europe. He makes this statement in his private opinion. He means that the ladies from Poland are vain and quite lazy. He says that at work, ladies from Poland avoid any tasks and transfer them to employees from Ukraine who work diligently and do not combine. Unfortunately, they are mostly married women faithful to their husbands and even going out of their minds. Another man says that Polish women have fallen from grace thanks to the prosperity of the West, particularly the emancipated liberal women. By the way, it is not Polish women but Ukrainian women who are the most beautiful in the world. He would like to find a woman with a great sense of humor, who likes to travel and is not toxic. I know from my own autopsy of Polish ladies that they become very bitter after unsuccessful relationships overcome by emancipation, and they struggle with the oppressed male population. What am I going to do? I see a lot of envy and hatred in Polish women, but I personally do not notice it in Ukrainian women. Some members of the group are incensed that the administrators are adding Polish women to it. An individual by the name of Marcin writes in one of the posts, "I'm asking the administrators to expel all Polish women from this group. Unfortunately, they're jealous, they don't want to bring anything to the topics, and they go for money. They are the complete opposite of poor, faithful Ukrainian women." Others begin the conversation by asking something along the lines of, "Gentlemen, why are Polish women so lazy and demanding?" The opinion that prevailed in the responses was that Polish women, when choosing a partner, were guided by the amount of his earnings. Men also complain about the large selection of potential partners that applications like Tinder provide. One Pole is looking for a Ukrainian wife. He is a guy who is 31 years old and has been looking for a partner for the past 2 years. He searches the internet, but he doesn't get the results that he wants. She's supposed to be between the ages of 20 and 30, and it's important that she be beautiful. That man also says that 2 years ago, a Polish woman dumped him for a Swede, and ever since then, he believes that every woman from Poland is materialistic. He complains Marek would like a woman to love him as he is, and when I ask him what his strengths are, he responds that he has his own apartment, for which she would be grateful. Ukrainian women do not require as much as they are poorer. As a result, they require an apartment right now. If I were to court a Ukrainian woman, I would first propose her a marriage, and then I would offer her an apartment. Marek contemplates the agreement that was made. Quotes, "I'll share my thoughts about the extreme simping levels that are going on in Poland in just a moment, but let me first tell everyone about today's sponsor, Hex. No, not the Hex Girls from Scooby-Doo, but Hex, the cryptocurrency. It was up 40 times higher in October of 2021 when compared to October 2020. Bitcoin should be purchased and held as the foundation of any cryptocurrency portfolio. But if you are going to speculate on altcoins such as Dogecoin, then we should consider Hex 2 as an option. This is not financial advice, so please conduct your own research before purchasing any crypto assets. You can buy it via a cryptocurrency exchange. The link to the instructions is provided below nonetheless at this point. Back to Polish men are not even about to lose their apartments to Ukrainian single mothers that'll take them to divorce court. Clown world show these Polish men are deluded. They're shaming each other and what I presume is some sort of show of dominance on an online group that may or may not have Ukrainian women following it. If they're following it, then they're probably doing it for laughs. Some of you guys in Poland need to understand that all women are the same. Back to Polish, many of you guys have provided me photographs of Tinder profiles of Ukrainian women in Poland. Refugee women are not going to use an online group to locate a husband. Instead, they are going to use Tinder for hookups and to fish for boys. Polish women have every reason to be concerned about Ukrainian women. This isn't because Ukrainian women are more dedicated to their domestic responsibilities than Polish women, but rather because Ukrainian women are more physically attractive. This is because, unlike Polish women, Ukrainian women can't easily achieve financial independence by working alone like Western women can. I think Polish men in Eastern Europe think that women from other Eastern European countries are still traditional, even if their women aren't. From my experience with Ukrainian women recently, I've seen that they're just as open-minded as Polish women. Instead of the women who live in their own communities, Polish men would rather have an idealized version of an outdated conventional type. Funny enough, the fertility rate in Ukraine is lower than in Poland, which means that Ukrainian men are probably tired of their own women as well. The person that sent me this article says that it's one of many. Another really funny thing is that women in Poland were supportive of Polish women getting together with migrants from the Middle East, but they aren't supportive of Polish men getting together with migrants from war-torn Ukraine. Poland is taking in the largest number of refugees from Ukraine because its language is similar and it is right next door. Even my relatives who lived in Mariupol are now living in Poland. As for the Polish men who end up getting together with women from there, they will be exploited and they don't even know it yet. Polish women who successfully shame them away from Ukrainian women are most likely doing them a favor, and those men have no idea many of the comments I read on Tumblr.com. I've been seeing videos online where Western women are shaming Western men for getting together with women from poor backgrounds and basically telling them that the reason they're going for these women in the first place was because they can control them financially. However, many men just want to make sure that if they marry a woman and invest in having offspring with her, those children just won't be taken away from them. It seems neither is the case for Ukrainian women. Women do not want to be imprisoned by males. Even if you're not technically trapping her and are just looking for someone to love and marry and treat well, it doesn't matter if you're her financial jailer. She'll still see that as even if you're just looking for someone to love and marry and treat well. If the other women in her circle see you the same way, then it's possible that you're oppressing her. However, if you're a good-looking guy, then you're not a bad guy. If, on the other hand, you're not the best-looking guy, but you're offering her a lot of freedom and financial assets, then it's possible that you are. If this is the case, she may still have the view that you are restraining her, in which case she may lash out against you. Tinder and other forms of social media have helped spread the Western sickness to all or the majority of the traditional countries out there. Nonetheless, men are still stupid enough to believe that there are women out there who were brought up in a rural environment without the influence of technology. I'm not sure which is more pitiful. Polish women who are paranoid that fictitious better-looking women from Ukraine will steal their men, despite the fact that the odds are that they are overweight and just as Western women, or Polish men who read on the internet that Ukrainian women are more attractive than Western women and believe that nonsense. Meanwhile, Ukrainian women are likely to depart Poland and travel to either Germany or Scandinavia, where they will file for welfare and where the men are significantly more appealing. Plus, where they may monkey branch to a better man financially again. If you're a Polish man, you're being stupid if you believe you'll be able to bring a hypergami sea devil under control that she gets to flock and fuck about in France or Frankfurt. Several decades have passed from the time of the last of the traditional women in Eastern Europe. Thus, you sexually hungry Polacks need to face the fact that they are no longer present. Ukrainian ladies are going to make a determined effort in the next few days to win the affection of wealthy men in Munich. Remember that a red pill a day drives away the males who believe they can dominate Ukrainian women merely because they give the women a place to rest their labia.